Hi, this is HCBailly, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy. We know what we need to do, so let's get everything ready. So we'll want to get some weapons first. Now, the best weapon for the fighter, red mage, and a thief, if you have one, is the rapier. So let's get one for each of those, or for each of them. Now for the black belt, the wooden nunchuck is the best weapon for him, so let's get one there. And for some reason, white mage's weapons are hammers in this game instead of stabs. So let's get an iron hammer for him. Now if you have a black mage in your party, I recommend the wooden staff. Even though the small knife has a slightly better hit percentage, that's not really relevant for a long time, and the staff is stronger. So, got a black mage, that's what you want. So now let's get out of here and equip those. Now each character has their own individual weapons that they can equip. They can have 4 weapons, but obviously only equip one at a time. But you know, each of them has their own weapons that they have available to them, unlike future versions of the game. Let's go to the armor shop. Now, part of the reason why I love the red mage in an early party is because he can equip the chain armor in addition to the fighter. So let's get one of those for the fighter and one of those for Tella. This is quite critical to me because the second position in your party is still quite vulnerable to receiving physical attacks. So yeah, you get 2 of those. And now some people like the wooden armor for the black belt and the thief, and unless they're in the second position, I really recommend against it, because in the rear positions where he is now, you're less likely to receive physical attacks, and you really don't have that much absorb to begin with, so you want to keep your evade as high as possible, which means equipping less. The wooden armor's weight is double the absorb of what it provides, so I recommend against using the wooden armor in this case. Same goes for the cloth. It really provides minimal defense. I don't think it makes a difference, and it weighs them down, so I'm going to leave that alone there. So let's get the armor equipped for them. Now for the black belt, another reason why I don't recommend the wooden armor for him is because his absorb is equal to his level when he's equipped with nothing. So really, for most of the time, you want to keep him without any armor. Now the problem is that every time you gain a level, a bug in the game is that it won't check to see that your level is equal to your absorb. It won't do that automatically. So all you got to do to fix that is if you go to the armor subscreen, the game will check it, and then you go to your black belt and his absorb will be corrected. This was fixed in future versions of the game, but it was also upgraded in the Dawn of Souls version, but I'm not really going to go over that. So now we have 200 gold, just enough for 2 spells. So let's take a look at those. Take a look at the white magic first. Now for the white mage, the obvious choice for his first spell is Cure, so let's do that. Essentially all that does is restores about 1632 HP to one of your party members. Harm does about 20 to 80 damage to undead monsters only, which is very useful because it's such a low spell charge. You're going to have a lot of them, and it helps you kill multiple enemies faster, if they're undead, that is. Fog, I think, increases your absorb by some amount. It's negligible. I really don't like it. And Ruse increases the caster's evade. You can't use it on other party members. It increases it by 80, and I think it's really only useful for like solo challenges and things like that, so we'll leave that alone. Eventually you want to get Cure for the red mage, but I want to get some black magic first, so let's go over there. Now for black magic, we'll start out by getting the fire spell for Tella. You want to get that for a black mage if you have that as well. I also recommend getting lit, or lightning essentially. I think that's really nice to have because enemies in the ocean, for example, have very high agility, which in turn gives them very high evade, making it very hard to hit them with your weapons. So I like having lit around so you get a guaranteed kill every time you use it, except against sharks, but other than that, those spells are pretty good for the black mage as well. I also like sleep for the black mage as well. Using it against like large packs of enemies can be pretty useful too. Lock I think is bugged or something, either that or I just don't think it's useful. So okay, so now I'm gonna go out into the wilderness, put my new spells to use and equipment, make sure I got everything right. Okay, so we're ready to go. Now, if you want to gain some confidence fighting some weaker enemies, stay south of Caneria, just stay right here. If you're ready, go up north a little and you'll be able to fight some tougher enemies sometimes. They're a little uncommon, but you'll be able to find them around here. So we got some imps here. Now, everyone has 5 commands. You have the fight command, which means attack. Magic allows you to use whatever spells you get. Drink lets you use potions, like heal potions or pure potions, to get rid of poison. You can't use soft potions in battle in this version of the game. So if you get stoned, you're screwed. And item lets you take a look at your equipment. Some equipment casts a magic spell when you use it. Like if you use a mage staff, you double click on it in battle, and it'll use it and it'll cast fire too. You won't have that for a long time. And run, allows each party member to attempt to run for the entire party. So now you want to attack, so I'm just going to put my 2 strongest members on one imp each and have the last 2 attack 1. Not that it especially matters, but there you go. And voila, we finished our first battle. Yay! So now we're just going to fight around here, get some gold. I'm not going to do everything, I'm just going to show you a little bit here. Do that. Same battle again, so we'll just do the same thing. One thing you'll notice in this game also is that there are no rows for the enemies either. So, there's not like a front row or a back row. So just attack whoever you like. Usually I recommend, if there's like a lot of weak enemies but one strong enemy in the battle, which you'll find often, I recommend killing the weaker ones first so you minimize their attacks. Now here's some slightly tougher enemies. So I'll put my 2 middle characters together and my strongest with my weakest party member there. Not especially critical here, but I think that'll work. You also eventually, there's another strong enemy called a mad pony that you can fight in this area here. If you do, you want to cast fire on it with Tella so you can get maximum damage on him. So okay, well that's all I'm gonna do for here in this video for now. Basically what you want to do is essentially gain, let's see, how much gold do we need? We need to get 300 gold because you want to purchase Lit for the red mage, Cure for the red mage, and Harm for the white mage. And I'm just going to stop this here and do that on my own time, and then I'll come back to show you the way to the Temple of Fiends. I'll be right back. And we're back. It took me about half an hour, or a little less than that, to do everything that I wanted to do. I also gained another level in addition to what I already had for my party, because level 3 is pretty critical in my opinion. It makes the Temple of Fiends a lot easier. Also, it's what we call a strong level, or a strong HP level, for the fighter. What that means is each level is pre-designated as being a strong or a weak level. Strong levels you gain about 20-25 HP, weak levels you gain about 1 to 6 HP. So I thought that was pretty critical for the fighter there. You don't have to, but I think it's really helpful there. And as you can see, I also bought all the spells that we needed. So that's everything you want to have there. And I also got the Black Belt's Absorb up to 3 from gaining the levels and checking the armor subscreen. So that's everything that I did there. So once you got up to level 3, then you'd go to the inn, you would hit yes to use the inn and pay about 30 gold, and you'd rest up. So I've already done that, so I'm gonna stop here and show you the way to the Temple of Fiends in the next video. So that's all for today. This is HCBailly signing off. Have a good day.